Allow me introduce our guest speaker and our facilitator for today. He's called Coach Samuel Ibanda, CPA. He's a career growth mentor, management consultant, and an ESG enthusiast. So as our guest in today's mentorship program, Samuel, I would like you to know he's namesakes with our executive director, which is quite amazing. Samuel has about 12 years of experience in leadership development, organizational capacity building, consulting, and professional transformation across East Africa. With his experience in ESG, leadership, career development, and professional transformation, Samuel is bringing to us a practical perspective on building meaningful careers in a changing world. So, mentees and everyone in the room, as he takes us through his presentation, please do pay keen attention, especially to the mentees, because this is how we shall connect and relate with our mentors. So on his presentation, Samuel is going to deliver a 30-minute presentation on relevant climate career insights, professional development, opportunities, and practical pathways for young climate professionals. So without wasting any much more time, allow me welcome Coach Samuel Ibanda, CPA, to take us through his presentation.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and congratulations to both the mentors and the mentees. So it's a privilege to see that we have you in the room that have been chosen to be part of this. So my presentation is going to mostly rotate around why mentorship matters and how you can be able to turn this into potential, purpose, leadership, and impact, especially in the projects that you're trying to build. So my name is Coach Samuel Ibanda, and I'm a career growth mentor, finance and business coach, an ESG enthusiast, and currently working as a manager international development at KPMG. So we do quite a number of also projects around ESG, climate change, and so on, sustainability. So I'm privileged that I'm speaking to you this evening, and especially on the journey of mentorship. So I just want to first dive a bit deep on the power of mentorship. So as we can see from our screen, here is somebody driving, and then they are getting support from somebody who is providing them guidance. So we just need to appreciate what is mentorship and why, or what is the involvement of each of us, the mentors and the mentees. So this mentorship has certain goals of where we want to be at the end of this mentorship. And I know each one of you have individual goals of where you want to be when it comes to the end of this mentorship. And I just want us to look at it from the point of a destination. We are moving, let's say we are moving from Kampala to Nairobi. I know we have some people here who are joining us from Kenya and other countries. So let's say we are moving, we're setting off a journey from Kampala to Nairobi. The question is, what will make this journey successful for us to be able to reach our destination? It's very, very important. And if we don't plan well the journey that we are going to get on, there's likelihood that we may struggle. We may find ourselves stopping in Ginger or stopping in any other place, or even stopping at the border without having to cross to the next level. So even as we start this mentorship, I think it's very important for both two sides, the mentors and mentees, to ask themselves that big question of where are we going and what do we need to get us to that kind of point. And I know you will even be able to get into your initial session where you'll be able to share about this. I'll tell you personally, mentorship has been of great support in my entrepreneurial journey, but also in my professional journey. Why? Because I've looked at mentorship like somebody who is helping you find a key in a bunch of keys. Some of you have tried to open doors with a bunch of keys, and you're struggling to find which key actually opens. And then is this somebody who has walked the same journey? Or if we are looking at Kampala to Nairobi, you've you have somebody who has actually driven on this journey and who is going to be able to provide guidance. And really, really appreciate to our mentors because they have walked this journey and they are here to pay it forward, such that some of you who are mentees here can also move the journey. So your journey is eased. And I just want to call on the mentors to just say thanks to our mentors for accepting to be part of this journey. So mentorship starts from planning stage, and let's just also get to understand what is mentoring. And I know we have a number of terms that sometimes are confused with mentorship. So we have coaching, we have counseling, we have consulting, we have quite a number of them. But one of the things is that you need to know about mentorship is it's an activity of supporting and advising somebody with less experience to help them develop in their work. So here your work are the projects that you're working on. Here your work could be your career. Here your work could be anything that you're putting your hands and brain to is your work. So there is somebody who is experienced, and it takes also that understanding from you as a mentee to appreciate the opportunity you have with the person who has already walked the journey. Sometimes we have aspirations as mentees and we want to do things our way, but you have the guidance of a mentor who has walked, who is telling you, I did this and got this kind of result. So it's very important for you to understand that relationship. And then a mentor is an experienced individual who acts as a trusted career counselor. Here could be a business advisor, could be professional advisor, somebody who is going to guide you who is less experienced to become somebody whom you want to be. Both personal and professional discussions, of course, form basis of this relationship. But at the end of the day, of course, one of the things that also comes out here as a key word is the trusting. You need to be able to develop a trust relationship for the two sides to be able to work along each other. So that is quite an important aspect. Maybe just to ask in the chat box, has any one of us gone through a mentorship program? And what is one thing that made that mentorship successful? Let's just share something in the chat box. Have you had a mentor before? And what made that mentorship successful? We can type, but I'm also open to having some hands. Just share. Okay, there is something in the chat box. Says being available and respectful. Thank you, Samuel. Clear communication. Jessica, thank you so much. Okay, let's keep those coming. Okay, yes, I did. It was communication and trust. And then we have mutual interest and SMART goals. Wow. Thank you so much, Santa, for sharing that. I like the word mutual interest. Now, our mentees who have joined the call, you need to understand that this is not a mutually exclusive relationship. The two parties have interests in the relationship. Commitment. Commitment is another very important thing that Daisy has shared. And commitment is on both the two sides. Being able to create time for the mentorship on the side of the mentor, but also being able to implement the agreed on to-dos from the side of the mentee. So thanks so much, and keep those coming within the chat box even as we proceed. And then somebody says real world applications, not just as theories. Living by examples, all these are very powerful. And I know that the team behind has made sure that the mentors that they have selected, they have told you they had a lot of applications on this journey, but the mentors they have selected are mentors that are suitable for this journey and are mentors that have walked the journey. I like the fact that we also have vast experience. We have somebody work on GIZ, we have somebody in the Kenyan market, we have different mentors that are coming with different expertise, which is something great. So thanks so much to the organizers for whatever you have done. So let's just reflect a bit on what is the role of the mentee. As the mentee, what is your role? So the mentee's role is driving the mentoring relationship. Now, you get to realize we use the notion of driving, and we can see who exactly is in the driving seat, the mentee. And then we have the mentor who is providing guidance on the road. So as a mentee, you're supposed to drive this relationship. You don't need to be dragged into the mentorship because you've made the decision, and this is for your own benefit because the mentors have created this opportunity for you to learn from them. And then you also need to be able to organize meetings with the mentor. You need to be able to organize, and organizing means that you also have being available. You also need to be able to develop and discuss what are your goals. Somebody has just shared in the comment section that you need to be aware of your goals. Like, where are you going at the end of the day? And just that is one of the key things that you need to open up to your mentor. And that is where the element of trust comes in. And then you also need to be able to follow up on any agreed action items. You don't need just to come to a mentorship journey and tick off the box. From the mentorship, there are action items that you need to be able to follow up, either on your side or also on the side of the mentor. A mentor might plan to share with you a resource that might be helpful for your journey, or they might give you tasks that you need to accomplish. So all these are very important for you as a mentee. And then being willing to share your hopes, needs, expectations. Do not sit on aspects that you think would help you on your mentorship journey. Be ready to share some of these aspirations such that your mentor can know where to start from. Always having an open frame of mind and accept new responsibilities and challenges. The mentorship is going to come with a challenging mindset. You need to be able to be open-minded, to try out new things, to challenge your mind to what you've been doing. So key for us here is to set goals, set your goals, be open about your needs, come to each meeting with an agenda. Do not just come to a meeting and you're asking what next. Take responsibility of your learning. The mentor should not be dragging you into this whole relationship. And also be available and responsive. Either there are communications on WhatsApp, either there are communications on email. Be available to always communicate. Communication is the availability and responsiveness that one of us has just mentioned. And then heed mentors and experience and advice. The mentors have walked the journey, so you need to be able to listen to them. And then develop trust at the end of the day with the mentor. And the trust means that you'll be able to share. And then the other thing is learn and have fun. Of course, this is not an exam. This is an opportunity for you. The more free you are with your mentor, of course, in a professional setting, the more you are able to going to build a relationship that is going to be able to drive the results of why this mentorship journey. Let's just look at the role of a mentor. Excuse me. The mentor. So you are the mentor. There are various aspects around you. You are the person who is the advisor, the professional advice. Why? Because you have seen it all. So you're going to provide this advice to this young, inexperienced professional. You are the network and facilitator. There are opportunities that this person who is under your mentorship deserves. It could be a link to a material that you think is helpful. It could be a contact that you'll be able to open for them. All this will be able to enhance and help the mentorship journey. You are also the sounding board who listens without judging but provides guidance to this other party. And then we have something that is very powerful here. And I could see you are not alone. Right. I see some comments here. So I think at this point, I need to find a mentor. Great. That is a good reflection. So you need to be the role model. Role modelship means you are a learning example for another party who is the mentee. And then you also need to be able to challenge, asking the tough questions to help you improve. So you need to not only ask yourself, but ask the mentor, the mentee that you're mentoring, some of these tough questions to be able to think different about their projects. The mentees may come passionate about their projects, but they need to look at viability, because the people that are going to do assessments of these projects, as I have heard that you're trying to also work towards competing with certain funds, you need to refine your project such that an outsider can also think the same way about your project as the way you're thinking about it. And of course, you're the counselor. Now, the counseling element here comes in from the point of encouragement, because in this whole journey, the mentee may come from what we call a negative frame or a lost frame, where they feel like the journey they are trying to pursue is not progressing well. You're the one who is not going to just acknowledge whatever they are going through, but one who is going to encourage them on this journey. And then, of course, you need to be able to give them honest, constructive feedback. The word constructive is very key in there. Constructive feedback means that you are not just looking at what is wrong, but you are acknowledging the effort, the good things that have been done by the mentee. Above everything here, we say that listening plays an important part in the mentoring role. And listening to understand the mentee's goals and uncover key learning opportunities that support their goals. Why listening is important is listening is presence. If I'm in the room and I'm providing mentorship, and as I'm trying to provide, you're seeing me on my phone, or you're seeing me distracted, or the mentee is trying to provide what they are going through as a challenge, but then you are not even able to conceptualize what they are saying. So we need to be able to balance our responsibilities, because this is a commitment for this period. So we need to be able to make this valuable for each one of us, such that at the end of the day, these results are not only going to make us happy as individuals, but we are going to have a great impact onto nature. So these are the two roles. I would like to ask, which of these roles are you going to take on seriously, from the side of the mentees and from the side of the mentor? Maybe since we have, of course, I know time is also not on our side, but I want to say that the foundations of effective mentorship, all the success of mentorship, is going to lie between the strengths and the quality of connection between the mentor and the mentee. So the relationship is a key word there. And here we're saying that as the relationship evolves, it is good for you to reflect on what is working well and what's not working. For example, it could be about time management, that every time you have this mentorship, one of the parties comes late. Can we sit back and say, for the next mentorship sessions? Are you able to keep time? It could be an aspect of following up on actions. Maybe one of the parties is not taking on the actions as agreed. And in your reflection questions, you could deploy, do you feel energized and inspired after mentoring your sessions? This is from the side of the mentor. But also from the side of mentee, you're asking yourself, do I find this mentorship valuable? One of the things that's helped me as an individual when it comes to mentorship is understanding who is the mentor. For example, one of our brothers here was mentioned is into sustainable agriculture. If I'm going to be a mentee to them, I'm asking myself, for this project that I'm running, what can I learn most from this person? And I'm going to now to draft my questions. I'm also going to see the linkages between the expertise of this mentor to the projects that I'm actually running, or to even the professional journey that I'm actually aspiring for. So these are important. And then you also ask yourself, am I satisfied with the time and effort invested in the relationship? Do you value the interaction, or has it become more of an obligation? Again, I like what Sant, I think, mentioned and said, mutual relationship. As the mentor, you're asking yourself, for what benefit am I getting from this mentorship? Because the why is very important. As you applied for this mentorship, you had your why. It could be the why to contribute, the why to impact, the why to create a difference. Every time you feel it's becoming more of an obligation, you need to get back to your why. Why did you sign up for this? Why, of all over the 40s of mentors that applied, they selected you to be part of this? But above everything, the effective mentorship is going to come from strong intentional relationships. Again, relationship is a very key word here. Relationship is built with time. Now, I want to end with what I call the first meeting checklist. So get to know each other. Share information about your professional and personal life. This helps build trust and also helps how the mentee can be able to fit in your journey. Because as they're going through their challenges that they're going to seek mentorship for, they are going to be able to get to understand you first. The other thing is learn something about each other. So as the mentor is sharing about their professional and personal life, the other party is also sharing the same. Of course, there are boundaries as well, especially on the personal life, since this is a professional relationship within the mentorship journey. So you want to just share things that you're comfortable with. But at the end of the day, this helps open up the boundaries between the mentee and the mentor, such that you're able to know each other. Then learn something about each other that is mentioned. Now, establishing the framework. When and where will we meet? How will we schedule the meetings? And I know our team is going to guide us on that. How will we communicate between the meetings? What agenda formats shall we use? Will there be any fixed agenda items to be discussed for every meeting? How will we exchange feedback? And how will we measure success? And then you're able to schedule the dates, timing, and place of the future mentorship.